The scenes which tell these stories were caught by our TNT camera just when they actually happened. This program is being brought to you by Ernie Culp of Charlotte, Michigan, the TNT boys and girls everywhere, and by this station. Now, our first story today, we begin at the dump. That's partly because I haul things to the dump for people, their rubbish, when I have some spare time. It's one of the ways we do to get money for film and stuff. Another reason is they got a fire down there. That bulldozer, there wasn't supposed to be a fire in that brush. The bulldozer tried to shove it out of the way and put it out, and he threw a track and broke his bulldozer, and so they had to get the fire department down right away to keep the bulldozer from burning up. And these kids, of course, they saw me taking their picture, and boy, they started cavorting and having fun. Now, one of the places where we go to pick up scrap and rubbish, these girls had a brand new goat. And they just got it. They're getting the dog acquainted with it. And I said, well, I'll get their picture. I'll take your picture of them. So that's what we do. Very cute dog, very cute goat. Come on, shake hands. Get acquainted. Pretty good, eh? And the kids laugh and they have fun. Kids are wonderful. Goats are wonderful. Dogs, too. I'll give the goats some milk. And on the left, watch that girl with her mouth open. That other girl stuck that nipple right in her mouth there. And I had shut the camera off just at the time and missed it. But she takes the bottle and pretends she's going to drink it. Watch, they knock it into her face anyhow. Pretty good, eh? So we give it back to the goat now. Now I get home, and this little girl and her mother came to get a burn barrel. And they just got a new puppy, just taking it home. Didn't even have a name for it yet. My cats come around to see what's going on. And the puppy jumps out, and the little girl puts it back. And he jumps out again. And I'm taking the picture and enjoying it. And it's so cute, her catching that puppy and putting it back again, that her mother just holds the door open, lets the puppy jump out, and I keep taking the pictures. And Bingo comes up to get acquainted. That big dog, that's my dog, Bingo. She's a nice dog. She likes to get acquainted with everybody that comes. Get back in there. Get back in there. Pretty cute, eh? Nice girl. And my cats are very friendly with Bingo, and they'll lay out in the yard together and pal around together, and they follow me wherever I go. If I go out to the burn barrel, to dirt and rubbish or garden, and this time I went up on the roof. I was up on the roof to fix the roof, and 5 days in a row, those cats came up behind me to see what I was doing. Just sit up there and keep company and help what they could. I wouldn't want to be out there on the edge like that. They're not scared of heights at all. It's hard to catch them coming up because they followed me so quickly. Time I got up with the first day, I didn't have the camera with me. After that, I took the camera, and they followed me up so quickly that I'd turn around to get their picture, and they'd be already up there. And they climb around the top, stroll around, take a look at things. Pretty cute cats they are. They're wild cats, too. Used to be wild. They live in the barn yet. And Zeb stopped on the lower roof, and the other cats are up there just as much to say, come on, Zeb, come on up. They're looking down at him. So he comes on up. I started to tell you about these cats. They were born from a stray cat, and they lived in my barn, and they were half-grown pretty nearly before I could even get close to them. But now they're tame, and they like to follow me around all over. And they go down the ladder, put the front feet down, then balance on all 4 feet at every rung. Looks kind of risky, but that's the way they do it. Now another day, they're laying out in the sun and just resting, and Bingo's sound asleep. And one of them there is licking Bingo or playing with her face or something. Then look at that cat. Comes around to test Bingo's nipples, see if they got any milk in them. Bingo's asleep, doesn't know what she's doing. Bingo did have milk in them about a year ago when she had puppies. There's one climbing on the screen door, and he looks at me, and they stand out looking around. Bingo says, I'm going to go take a nap. Look what happens after the nap's over. She comes out, and then the cats come out. Some cats and some dogs. Now, Bingo and I are over to a paint factory in town, and the chemist is mixing up some very delicate paint mixture. He wants to get the exact color, and I took a little of the picture, what light I could get, because it's such a pretty picture. Pretty paint, too. Then we get home, there's some more paint. Our neighbor kids are all busy painting a scooter they made. They got some boards for me, and they got some wheels, and in fact, they even got the paint for me. But the only kind of paint that they can paint it is black, because that's the only kind we had. And here a monarch butterfly lands on one's nose, and she holds it there till I get a picture. Isn't that nice? Very pretty butterfly. Now, Bingo and I are out again, and we're coming home, and here's the electrical crew up there working. Looks pretty nice job today, but wait till you get up there sometime at midnight when it's cold and blustery. And on the way home, we run across these boys helping the city out. The city had put that hydrant there, opened up to flush, and they went someplace, I don't know where, but these boys took over. They live down the street a ways, and they're tending to things, splashing it all over themselves and all over everything. Luckily, I come along, got a picture. I didn't have as much film in the camera as I wanted to have, so I got what I could. Now we get home, and we got company. Some of my grandchildren from way up the other side of Grand Rapids came down, and they brought us chicken. They had about 100 chickens raised from little ones. All of them are pets, really. This is a special pet, and this one they named after me. They call that one Ernie. It's a girl chicken, but they call it Ernestine, so they can still call it Ernie for a nickname. And little Cheryl's trying to catch it. She's not afraid of it. She's a little hard to catch up to it. Here. Bingo's helped, got her by the tail, and he got away. Bingo's helping what he can, she can. Bingo's loves everything and hurts nothing. She's a wonderful dog. She's just a perfect dog. There's Ernie, named after Uncle Ernie. Now, coming home from church one morning, I had the camera ready, and my wife drove the car so I could get this picture. I knew what would happen. As soon as we get in, drive in the yard, they come out, and the cat's right after the dog. And I stayed in the car while my wife went on in the house. And I shut the windows just to see what they'd do. They were looking for me, and they climbed up on the car and climbed around on the windows, looked in the windshield, and can't understand why I don't come out. That white-faced one there, I lost that one and never got her back. She got onto somebody's truck. There was 2 pickup trucks in the yard one day, and she rode away on one of them. I don't know which one. I advertised for her, but never got her back. Sure felt bad. And Bingo's getting worried. Why don't you get out? What are you doing in there, Ernie? Come on, get out of the car. Well, she's just going to wait. Take it easy, flap her tail. Now we got company coming for dinner. That's my wife, little Jody. And she says, "Hi, Grandma." Yeah, we're going to have a big gang for dinner today. Here comes some more. Families are wonderful, and family get-togethers are more wonderful yet. Look at the cat watching the rest of them come. Here comes some more. That's Katie, my wife. Boy, is she a good cook. I don't blame these people for coming. That's my son, Jim, clowning as usual. He's going to carve the turkey. You know, you can have turkey any time of the year if the price is right, and your people eat it. And the kids gather around to watch. They like to watch Uncle Jim carve a turkey. And my wife stirring up I think it's mashed potatoes, looks like. And we get to the table and thank the Lord for our food and all of his blessings. And of course the cats, they're going to eat too. And they're thankful. Yeah, I feed them out on the barn where they're up high, so the other animals don't get it. After they get all washed, then they gather on the back porch, just to kind of rest and take it easy. Up with Bingo. Now look at that. Isn't that love and companionship in those two animals? You know, in the new world to come that God has promised us, who love him and who serve him, that's the way that's going to be. All the animals are going to love each other. And better than that, all the people are going to love each other. It's all going to be love. There'll be no hate, no meanness, no nothing that's bad. Everything is good. I want to be sure and get in on that, don't you? Look at that cat. That's just petting the dog, and just like I do. I don't know whether she got the idea of do it like I do or not, but anyways, you know, that's what he likes. Now we know he didn't take a station break. This is another Uncle Ernie happiness ad. Now today we're at Michigan, by Lake Gogebic, near Lake Gogebic, at a county dump where the bears come in, daytime and nighttime both. We had 7 bears around us at one time here. It's beautiful things. You know, bears are another thing that God made for us to enjoy, fun things. And people, they don't get too close. They're all right. People come to watch them, and they're a lot of fun to watch. But I got up quite close to them, took their picture, and I talked to them. I told them there's nice bears, and you know, animals can tell, wild animals can tell by the sound of your voice whether you're nice to them or not, whether you're friendly. But here's a guy that's drunk. He pulled in right beside of me and came and walked ahead of me, and he's cussing them and daring them to come and fight, and like drunk people do. They just got no sense. And pretty soon he'll throw a beer can at them. But that's a dangerous thing for him to do. Anybody, they know that he's an enemy, and they know that he's mean to them. And probably because he's drunk, that's why he does it. Otherwise, he'd maybe be a nice man. Don't let alcohol get a hold of you. That's an example of what alcohol will do. Cigarettes and alcohol is something that you stay away from. Drugs, too. Anything that takes you away from your normal activities like God meant you to do. There's some people on the bank looking at the bears. We had 7 bears around us, and at one time, in another show, I got 5 of them in one frame, one picture, and some of them up close. The bears liked me because I was nice to them. But don't trust them. Don't get too close to them, because they can't always be sure that you're going to not hurt them. Now, the town I live in, they're always celebrating something. Every time they get a chance to celebrate, excuse to celebrate, they do it. And then this celebration is starting even the day before the big day. We have some young men in our town who got very good at Indian dancing, and they like to do it, and they perform. And this is down the shopping mall, and I got some pictures of them. I like to see Indians dance. They're really good at it. Now, the next day, I'm on top of one of the store buildings downtown, and you see people gathering around for something that's going to happen. There's our courthouse, of which we're very proud. And what's going to happen is right down there in Main Street, there's going to be 3 skydivers land right down there where those cars are, one right after another. Now, next to me there's the old fire bell that they used to ring when there's a fire. We have a volunteer fire department, but they don't use that anymore. Now they use this siren, which is right beside me, and lucky for me that they didn't blow it while I was there, because I'd probably scared the tar out of me. Now, you notice it's 10 o'clock. There goes the ambulance. Some poor soul is in trouble, for which we're sorry. We're sure happy that there's ambulances to take care of them. Now, you see, the more people are gathering on the corner. They're getting ready for these skydivers. Hey, look at that woman. their long dress, lifted up looking at the hymn or something. Oh, I see that little girl next door. She lifts it up to take a look. I thought that was pretty good. I was able to get a picture of that. Kind of funny. And we're going across the street, get a better view. Kid's going to sit on the curb. Now these skydivers are going to come right past that courthouse, right past that steeple. In fact, one guy, I was afraid he was going to hit it. Now they got an art show down there too, on the courthouse yard. And before we leave, we'll take a little look at some of that. Now there's the moon, but my first glance at it, I thought it was one of the parachutes coming. So I took a picture of it. At least I got a picture of the man on the moon, and maybe some of our men on the moon if we blow it up enough. I hear some kids going by on a horse. They come by my place all the time. I just live on North Main Street there. And they come by back and forth all the time. I got their pictures going up and down the sidewalk sometimes. Now when they get across this street, then the parachutists are going to come. We watch for them. There they are. 3 of them, see? Way up in the sky. Now, in a little bit, we'll reach up there with our zoom lens and bring them in close, get right up there with them. Getting a little closer. Now watch this fellow with the mattress looking affair. He's really putting on a show, just like a flying trapeze. He uses that. See, looks like he goes on even above it, just swinging back and forth, just like he was on a swing. Those smoke bombs trailing from their heels of their shoes. He's putting on quite a show, isn't he? And he comes zooming in. Right down, almost on target. Pretty close, eh? Here comes the second one. He came just a little bit closer. He got a pretty parachute. Now this third guy, I thought sure he was going to hit the top of that courthouse. It appeared like he was coming close to it, and I think he did. But he comes in, he's going to hit that target closer than the rest of them. He zooped across the crowd real fast there and came right down, almost right on that red spot. See there? Practically on it. That's a pretty good shot. Now, while these go home, let's get down there. Before we go home, let's take a look at what's going on down there with the courthouse. Here's first there's some kids on the cannon with Snoopy. And the kids are enough to make a good picture, but Snoopy is so much better. Now this lady and her husband did the painting. They had some paintings there which I like, that farm scenes. And so I took some pictures out of it. And they're building a new barn to put their stuff in. And there it is. And they're from Grand Rapids, they said. Now this dancing lady with a background dancing right behind her, that's from one of her own local men, Stu Jones. And I like that locomotive too. But best of all, on the way home, we see the handiwork of God, who is the master artist. And we try to copy him, but nothing can match what he can do. Now it's time for another station break. Means it's time for another Uncle Ernie happiness ad. Okay, let's look at another one of the fun things that God made. Not only fun for us, but fun for himself, because he likes to look at these things too and enjoy them. But this is a hermit crab, and it's a pet hermit crab. And he's crawling along the ground and headed for a hermit crabs. When they outgrow a shell, they look for another bigger shell to crawl into. And here he's found Uncle Ernie's slipper, and he said, "Oh boy, this looks like one that's big enough for me." So he starts to go in there. Now watch him. He's going in there, and look, he's coming out of his shell. He's gonna take it over that slipper. See, he's kicked the other shell aside and came right out. How about that? There you go. He's on their feet. You want a crab on your feet? They're cute. There he is. Looks kind of ugly, but after you find out that he's kind and warm-hearted and doesn't hurt anybody, people are that way too. If they're kind and warm-hearted, no matter what they look like in the face or otherwise, they look lovely, and we love them. One of God's fun things. People are fun things too, for their kind. Let's have it. This is another Grandpa, Uncle Ernie, Grandpa Squirrel, Uncle Ernie happiness ad. Now this is a happy ad, a happy scene for a time when all these squirrels are eating together, peaceable, and then they get to quarreling and fighting. They're selfish and now Ernie puts plenty of feed out there for them. They could even double up in those trays and be feed enough for all. But just like kids sometimes, and grown-ups too. Grown-ups too get selfish and quarrel over. Look at it. Then they chase each other and fight over it. It's enough on the ground for several to eat. Enough in the trays. But no, they gotta be selfish and the stronger ones try to chase the others away. That's bad for squirrels to do, same as it is for people. God doesn't want squirrels to be selfish either. This is another Uncle Ernie happiness ad, and this is Twisty Creek. Right here is Twisty Creek, and which is in my book is all about. It's Twisty Creek. These kids are diving in it. And here's my Twisty Creek storybook, the cover of it being run off on the press, right hot off the press. Send your name and address to Uncle Ernie in care of this station, and I'll send them to you free and postpaid. Now today we're going to have a horseback ride, a lot of horseback rides. And hopefully we planned on having wagon rides too. So we take the busload of kids up to get the horses. And we give them a little snack first. They always like a little snack when they come around. And the kids like to pet them. That red one is Tom and the black one is Beauty. Mighty fine, wonderful horses. The kids love them and they love the kids. Now we're going to put the harness on. Tom was given to us by the Heatherwood people many years ago when they got rid of their horses. Now when you put a harness on a horse, put it on easy. Don't, or saddle either one. Don't just slam it on, because you hurt the horse and you scare him. If you just lay it on carefully like I did there, like you see me do this time, they don't flinch, they don't mind it. And it's the best way to do it. Now we planned that our wagon that we plan to use is about 4 or 5 blocks down the street to Jesse Moore's house, one of the other little pastures we use. And so we'll go down there and get the wagon, and then we'll plan to have kids on the horses riding and taking turns, and then when the kids are waiting for their turn, they'll ride in the wagon. We go round and round 2 or 3 blocks. They can't go too many blocks, we discovered, because you get too many kids, more than you can handle, because they come from everywhere. So we start down the road, and we just get that far, about 100 feet down the road, and I discovered that Tom is lame. And I looked, and there's no stone in his foot, so we turn around and come back. Bring him back into the pasture. The kids had a little short ride anyway, didn't they? Then we take Tom's harness off. Beauty's going to have to do all the toting and the riding today. So we turn Tom loose. He's lame for some reason in his right leg there. And watch what Tom does as soon as we turn him loose. Lays down the roll. That horse, you take him 100 feet down the road, bring him back, and he thinks he's done enough work that he needs to stretch, rest himself. Horses do that to stretch and rest themselves, just the same as we do when we stretch. And the kids always watch for it, see Tom roll. 1,500 pounds of horse. Yeah, I got that done. I get up. So we let Beauty do the riding, and we go to the horse tank and back. make one ride, one turn is to the horse tank, across the pasture, just a small pasture, and to the horse tank and back. And the boys lead the horses. And look at Tom. Takes every trip. He didn't want to miss out, so he goes on every trip with us, limping along. Then he'll come back. Little girl found a toad. I told her, I don't squeeze it, and I'll take his picture. So we took his picture, and then she took it way over to the side and put it way out of the way so that neither the horses nor the kids would step on it. And the kids all, we get put 5 on a horse. When we have the wagon, we put 3, start out with 3 on, and then wind up with 5 on before we get through. There goes Tom again, following along. Don't want to miss anything, but he soon found out they're coming back again, so he goes part way and then waits for them to come back and then picks up the procession again after they get back to him. Now, those are Robin's boys that are helping me. There's 5 brothers, and these are the 2 older ones. There's 3 of them there with us that day. And boy, they sure are a lot of help. They go with us on hikes and camping trips and everything we do. They're always dependable. Boost the kids on so I can take their pictures, lead the horses. The kids follow along. Even when they're not riding, they make the trip that happen. Everybody having fun. Get some of the big kids on now. There goes Tom again. Another trip. It's wonderful that God has made horses and things like that for us to have fun with, isn't it? There's one of the Robbins boys getting on to have a ride. Look at the faces on those kids. That's fun. I like to ride them, too. It's a lot of fun to ride horses, especially horses like Tom and Beauty, who like to be ridden. They like the feel of the kids on their back. They like the feel of their legs against their sides. And they walk just as careful. Just look, notice how Beauty walks, how carefully she walks. The smaller kids hang on to the hames, and then we stack them up behind. But if they're all small kids, the boys hang on to them. Yeah, Uncle Ernie's getting some of them off. Get his picture taken. Now it's time for us to say goodbye until we see you again next time. Meanwhile, be sure you go to church on the Lord's Day. Walk close with God on every day. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love God with all your heart. Be kind to all of God's creatures. And tune in next time to join us in some more grand adventures on the TNT True Adventure Trails. Bye now.